It's the cool of the day. The cool of the day. The cool of the day. Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Kesh, host of the Cool of the Day podcast, and we are in still in the segment What's Your Business? We are in season 2, episode 7, and the title of this episode is What's Inside the Role? Family, get ready for an authentic and inspiring conversation today. My guest is a man who wears many hats, a devoted father, talented sushi chef, skateboarder, an all around people person from Beaufort, South Carolina, Justin Patton. Justin is someone who brings light and laughter everywhere he goes. He's not afraid to be real, transparent, or even a little goofy because life's too short not to enjoy the ride. Coming from a wild and beautifully blended family, he's learned the power of growth, grace, and resilience. His mission in life is simple yet powerful: to become a better human every day, to be a great example for his son, and to keep learning, teaching, and evolving. He lives by words that hit deep. When the pain is great enough, the change will occur. And motivation isn't always going to be there. So rely on discipline. So, y'all, sis, bro, let's tap in, lean in, and get ready for some real talk with a man who knows that purpose is found in progress and that joy can be found even in the grind. Let's welcome Justin Patton to the Cool of the Day podcast. Justin, what's up?
Hello. Those
Hey.
legendary intros you do.
Come on. I'm like legendary for the introductions. I tell people all the time, it's like we're coming to the stage. Like I'm ready to like introduce who this amazing person is, get people on their toes and get them on their feet, like, ooh, who she's talking about. So Justin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself or more about yourself and who you are outside of the kitchen?
Well, first I'm saying like I just woke up and really, that's better than a cup of coffee. I think Ronald said the same thing where it's just like, are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Um, about me, man, I guess I'm just an all around goofball, I really like interactions with people. I really like, you know, conversations and learning from, and also teaching as well, and just growing in any experience that I can. And
Yeah.
um, I probably work a little too much. I enjoy what I do for a living, so like sometimes my work becomes like a hobby, which probably isn't necessarily a good thing. But and when I'm not working, I try and spend as much time as I can with my son. And he's a cool little dude. If he wasn't cool, I'd say but I'd be honest about it. But man, he's way cooler than me. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, he's a beautiful little dude. Um, yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, it's just my kids are a joy, and I love my two little girls. They make me laugh every day. I'm like, who are you? Like, why do you have this personality of me, and then you over here have this other personality of me? Like you two are just you're very unique in your own self, but it's like you both are like me, and it's just so amazing to just realize that you're a mom or you're a dad. Like, oh, like I'm 28 and I'm like, I had my daughter 7 years ago and I'm like, oh, I'm a mom. Like, this is it. Be a mom for the rest of my life. Okay, here we go. But that's interesting. You said that you think that you spend too much in your business where it becomes like a hobby, but wasn't it like a hobby before you kind of started it as a business?
You know, so for me, like with sushi, I grew up eating it. My dad is a retired master gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps. He was eating sushi in Japan in the early '80s before it was trendy here in the States. So he
Mm-hmm.
introduced me to it when I was a little kid, and I never set out to be a sushi chef. So I guess in some way, sushi was kind of a hobby because I would eat it like as much as I could. I would sit in
Mm-hmm.
front of sushi chefs and I would ask them questions. And then, like, I remember one time a guy said to me, separate the rice, don't smash it. And
Oh.
so, like, with rolling, and that was long before I ever started rolling sushi. And then, like, years later, I apply that to what I do. So I guess, like, I never really thought about it like that. I guess, like, eating sushi was definitely like part of a hobby for me. Um, and and then it started as a part-time job. I was
Yeah.
just the weekend person, and then it just like rolled into what I love to do. um, I don't do it full time right now. It's been something where over the past decade, I go on and off of doing it full time. But right now, I'm doing it as much as I can, and yeah, it is it is funny because like I'll do it for my family or I'll do it for my friends, and so
Mm-hmm.
I do it like and not get paid for it.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it more of like the joy of, being around the people and, being able to like make them feel good, and serve them up something nice? Is it like that, like 'cause you just have joy doing it?
I could say it's a little bit of both. One, it is funny because it is for me. Like I actually like doing it, right? Like
Hmm.
my job is something that I can do when I'm not at work and find
Right.
joy in it. Um, but it is also it's funny how like sushi is so it can be like captivating to people.
Hmm.
But like to me, it's gotten so simple that it's just like, oh, this is just how you do it. Like I do
Yeah.
sushi classes and everybody's like engaged and enthralled, and I'm showing them how I do these things. And to me, I'm just like sometimes I'm like, I literally just make rice and and, and roll it and like like I don't do anything special for a living. Like sometimes I'll get like down on myself and I'm just like, bro, shut up. You know how we do
Oh man.
everything in our lives.
Yes, I feel you. I feel you because I feel like that too. Like when I made gift boxes for someone. I made 8 gift boxes and I call them royal boxes. And I'm like, I love to shop. So she gave me the money to go shop for 8 gift boxes that she's going to be gifting to 8 people in her life. And I was like, this is so simple to me. Like, I'm like, why did it looks, I know it looks good, like it looks good, but why does it feel like it's not like, my best work or like, like, wow, like this is nice, And when I showed her the boxes, like I showed her each one, she was like, this is amazing. Like, this is dope. So sometimes we can like downplay our own abilities, like with graphics and with technology. Like, I'm like, this is so simple. Like, why would I want to teach someone this? Like, I'm pretty sure people know it, but no, a lot of older people do not know about technology. They're like, my Keisha, you saved my life. I'm like, I just showed you how to use your email, or like, like I just,
Yeah, I just
you
hit
know.
control alt delete. No.
Yeah, like it was just so simple. But the simplest things are the things that you can make a business out of. You can show people because not everybody know what you know. Like I was interested when you were talking about you teach people how to roll sushi. I'm like, I want to roll some sushi now, because I never did that. I never like in my family. I can tell you right now, we've never eaten. I've eaten maybe I think 1 or 2 like things of sushi. I don't know. It was like little rolls of sushi, and one of them was spicy, so I don't like spicy. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And the other one, it made my stomach hurt. So I don't know. Like I don't know. I was like, no, not that. But I'm like, you remember I told you I said I would try your sushi. I would try it, and then I would do a review on it because if you get me to like sushi, then that's different. That I never cared for sushi like that. But if you get me to like sushi, then we whoa, like So, yeah, I feel you when you say that, this is just like, something that I know how to do. It's just, something so simple, like, but the simple things to us can be complicated to someone else. Or the things that we don't think is I remember, I guess, because when you first, like, think about when you first started, like you were like, yeah, this is interesting. Like when you were younger, you were like, this is interesting. Like, let me ask the questions, And so we have to think about that with other people, especially people who aren't doing what we're doing. So I guess, I would say it like that.
Yeah, at one point I didn't know, and it was new and exciting to me. You know,
Yeah,
at,
yeah.
at some point I will make you sushi, and I'll set you up proper. But just one thing: if I make you sushi and you like it, and you go somewhere else and you don't like it, remember that's not my fault.
No, no, no. Yeah, everybody like that's like, people who make like what like people with these different businesses, but they're all the same. Like I go to one McDonald's and I might like that McDonald's and I go to another one is like let's make my stomach hurt. But I'm gonna go back to the other McDonald's because that McDonald's, is really good. And I say McDonald's because I just got my daughter some ice cream yesterday from McDonald's. But that was the only McDonald's in Beaufort that ice cream machine works. That's the one in Shell
Oh,
Point. That's
yeah.
the only one that I've ever never known it to break down. I'm like, I don't know, bro, sis, who I'm talking to, like, is your McDonald's in your area? Do y'all sell ice cream still? Because it's like nowhere.
No, they don't. The machine's broken.
Right? I'm like,
I've heard that it's actually not broken. But they're just like they ran out and they're like, yeah, it's broken.
they just didn't want to get anymore, like, or they don't want to be bothered cleaning it. Is it hard to clean or something?
Or maybe they like to steal joy from children.
Yeah, and big children too, like the big kids like us. Cause I'm like, I get mad. I'm in line the whole time, and I'm like, "Hey, about to get some ice cream,"
I
and
want a
then,
McFlurry.
huh?
Yeah, I want a McFlurry.
Yeah, I want an Oreo. That's my favorite Oreo
Exactly.
McFlurry,
That's
and
one.
especially the one that you can only drive in and you can't like get out of the line, like if they don't have
Oh
what
yeah,
you
you stuck.
Oh man, so I remember I went up to one day and I don't think it was I think yeah, it may have what was ice cream I was trying to get. And I was like, "Can I get an Oreo McFlurry?" And they were like, "Our machine is broke." I'm like, I'm in line this whole time and I couldn't get out the line. I had to literally do the walk of shame in my car and drive past the window.
Yeah, they're at the window like, hey, you ready for it? Like, nope, just passing through.
Yeah, just riding through, just window shopping at this point, y'all don't
Yeah,
have
just
what I
for fun, I'm gonna hit the Chick-fil-A next and not order anything and drive through.
Yeah, like what? That is crazy to me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So tell us about your business. Like what makes your sushi unique compared to other places, as we were talking about like McDonald's and stuff.
Um, so with me and sushi, what makes me unique? I try to I try to make all of my own, like everything, like sauce wise. I try and make everything. Like if I'm going to do a private dinner for you, I'm going to try and make sure that I make everything. There's also levels to it where you're breaking down your fish and you're also curing your fish. So there's that. A lot of places now. Here's the thing too: is like over the years, I've gotten to this point to where like I will make you food with anything or for anybody. Like if somebody likes imitation crab over the real crab, which is kind of like not really the way it
Mm-hmm.
normally is, I'll still use the imitation crab. Like you can I think everything has its place. Um but generally like I try and use real crab as opposed to the imitation crab. I'm using fresh yellowfin tuna or bluefin tuna if it's available, as opposed to the prepackaged frozen stuff, which once again everything has its place.
Mm-hmm.
um, and I break down the salmon from like whole, I like to cure it for a couple hours. So basically, you take this sugar and salt, and coat the fish in it, and it pulls all this moisture from the fish,
Mm,
firms it up, gives it a better color, better flavor. So there's those little things behind the scenes that you don't see, uh,
mm,
that I like to do to add that depth. The sauces, over the years, I have learned from, even from my guests too, like they'll ask me if I've ever done this with a certain sauce, and I take these things and I move forward with them and utilize them. Like, I'll combine sauces. I had two different sauces that I did, and I just combined them into one, and
mm-hmm.
now it's even better. I still make them separately,
Yeah,
so I try and, I guess it's just about being creative. The thing is sushi is a very simplistic food. So fish and rice, right? Like, so here's the one thing too, is sushi is, when you think of sushi, what is sushi to you?
I think I'm raw meat, and
So, so sushi is actually the rice. It's seasoned. Yes, yes. So it's seasoned rice. So it's a short grain sticky rice. You wash the rice and then cook the rice, and then you dress it with rice vinegar. So, or seasoned rice. Uh, so so here's the other thing too, is you can go get a pre-made seasoned rice vinegar, or you can make your season it yourself. Um, so I have a recipe that somebody gave me, and I make my own seasoned rice vinegar, and that adds a depth of flavor to the rice. But so sushi is a very simplistic food, like sushi rice and fish. Um, but and so I try and stay traditional with certain things, but also, like, some people like really loud, obnoxious food. So I'll take your roll and deep fry it for you and put spicy mayo and bacon on it.
what?
Yeah,
I didn't know you can deep fry the roll. See, that was gonna be my question because it was at the tip of my tongue. Can sushi be cooked? Like, well, now that I know that it's rice, but the
mm,
meat part of it, can the meat part be cooked?
yeah. So one of my favorite rolls is a spider roll, which is soft shell crab. So you like soft shell
Mm,
crab?
yes, I love crab. I feel like I don't know, my body's different. Like when I was younger, I could eat crab, shrimp, crawfish, all that stuff. But then as I got older, like my lips started to like break
Mhm.
out after I started eating like crab and shrimp. And I don't know if it's from like the sauce that it's in, or the boil that it's cooked in. But I like if I have like a cut or something on my lip and it touches it, it would literally puff up, like break out or something, you know? So I would have to like eat it like this, you know, and not let it touch my lip, which is fine. But yes, I would say I don't know. I'll
Some
try
people
it.
develop shellfish allergies. Like,
I think so.
I hope you haven't, because man, if I developed a shellfish allergy, I'd be so upset. Because a lot of what I do is, like, I'm like, so today I'm going to pick up a couple hundred oysters, drive it to Charleston, and shove
Hmm.
200 oysters for a family that I've never met before.
Now, I love oysters. I can do oysters, but shrimp and crab.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't really eat those anymore. But my mom, she's allergic to shellfish, period. Like she can't eat any shellfish, any fish, but she loves to go fishing. I'm like, who does this? Like you like to go fish, but you
Oh,
don't.
she can't even eat the sea fish.
She can't touch it. I think she can't touch it with her hands either. Like it's weird. I don't know.
So does she catch fish for your family?
Yeah, some for my family. My dad sells some too, so
That's a selfless thing right there. Going, I do not. It's funny. I work with fish, right? I do not like fishing. So just standing out there, like, fishing, being bored, just standing there, and then like catching fish, but you can't eat it. You must
I
love
know.
it, you know.
I guess she just likes the sport, you know? I'm like, I went out there a very few times over years and I'm like, how do you stand in this hot sun all day just fishing? Like, this is for the birds. I cannot. I just can't. I'm
I'm
trying. I'm like, I'm trying, Lord, but I just can't. It's not for me. I'm the type of person that I would literally I will paint out there or try to read a book, but like it's like I just can't just sit there all day and wait for a fish because I'm like, is it gonna come? Is it gonna did it come? Like I'm looking at the string. Come on, like hurry
Your
up.
reel is pulling, and then you're just like, I'm enthralled in this book. Your reel flies out into the water, and you're like, it's
I
okay.
know.
Almost finished with this book.
I know my dad would be super mad. He's like, you let my pole go. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I was really sucked into this book, dude.
Yeah, I'm like really not interested in fishing right now. That's so funny. So like when you were talking about going to like this new family that you're gonna be cook is it like cooking basically? Like you're putting it
Not,
together,
not today. So sometimes I do like oyster roasts where you get like the burner and the pot and everything. But today I'm just shucking them raw.
shucking them raw, like just taking them out from the shell.
Pop them and then sever the abductor muscle and then put some a mignonette or a cocktail sauce on it and good to go.
And that's it. It tastes good. I guess it tastes good like that because people like it like that. I like mine cooked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
raw oysters are incredible. It's just more where it depends. So believe it or not, so some people think that you can't eat oysters if it's not a month that doesn't end in R, right? Uh, but and I'm not going to go too far into it because then I'm going to be talking for like 10 minutes about oysters because I'm such a nerd. But they like so from the Northeast, the waters are cold all year round, right? So you can they do oysters up there, but also there's a difference between farm raised oysters and wild harvested oysters, and then it gets into triploids and diploids and why you can do them year round and everything. So you can do oysters all year round. Doesn't matter what month it is. It's just how they're farmed and all that. And when you hear farm raised, it's like a negative connotation, but that's not always a bad
Okay. Yeah. So y'all perception, like
thing.
you
Mm-hmm.
gotta ask the questions. That's why I'm really prone to like ask questions because you could be thinking about a thing and then getting the misconception of it because you don't even know like what you're thinking. Like that's because your brain wants to ask questions. Like so ask the questions to the people who know the answer. Like what you were saying, farm raised versus what was the other wild caught oyster,
So wild harvested
wild
oysters
harvested.
are
Yeah, so in my mind, I ain't think about that. I didn't even know that people were even saying that you can't eat them all, year round and it's just do you go out there? That's what I'm like, I'm talking to the people who actually say that. Do you go out there and see that you can't do that or are you just getting it from other people? You know what I'm saying? Like cuz people, oh, she said that or who told you that? Like did you witness
no,
it yourself? Like, it's just I'm the type of person that wants the facts. Like, okay, this is just an opinion, but where's the facts?
just be careful asking somebody like me a question because if I know the answer, it'll take me 2 hours to answer it for you.
You
No,
said 2 hours. Oh my God, two
I,
hours. I'm like, okay, well,
I,
just
I will take the simplest of question and add like I'm like, well, that's a really good question, and then I cannot condense it. I'm so bad about like having such a giant answer for something.
that's all right. I'm the same way. Like, I need an introduction, and then I'm gonna need some detail. I put little details in the middle, and
Mm-hmm.
then we get to the meat part of it, and then we'll get to the end where you find out the question, the answer to your question. I'm like that too. It's like a book, like beginning, middle, end. I have to give you the background first before I give you just the straightforward answer. Because the background is interesting, right? Like the the meat and the details are interesting. I want you to feel like how I feel about it. So I get you. I get you. So starting a food business can be tough. What's one of the biggest challenges you faced and how did you overcome it?
All right. So the biggest challenge for me, and so I'm still all right. Here comes one of those really long answers.
That's all right.
So I technically like do run somewhat of my own business, right? But I don't have it to where it's like I work for myself completely and it's just my business. I work for the kitchen and I do private sushi dinners out of there. I still work through my friend's restaurant, Locals Raw Bar over on Ladies Island. I do private dinners through him, and then I also serve tables part time in Bluffton at a restaurant called Farm. So like I do a lot of different things, and then this thing that I'm doing today is through another person. Um, but in regards to doing my own thing, that's like my next step completely, where I have my own business, and that's the only thing I'm doing is working for me. It's about the books, knowing the business side of things. And I think I heard Dee say something about this on her episode. So you can know how to make the best whatever you make, sushi, desserts, barbecue, whatever it is, right? But if you don't know how to cost all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
and actually make the money off of it, that's where you're that's where like you're that's where you're gonna fail. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I have worked for some people that aren't the greatest of chefs, but they could look at a case of something and tell you how much you need to charge for each portion to be able to make money on that. It's about like feeding not only like you making money, but like feeding a business and that making money as well. So that is the hardest part for me right now, is like wrapping my brain around that. And what's funny is we were just talking about how when something that we've been doing for a long time is easy to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we forget the time when it was difficult. And now this part of the conversation, I'm thinking about like, you know, the numbers, the math behind it is such a foreign concept to me that if I work on it, maybe one day it'll be easy. But I'd
Yeah.
probably say the behind like the numbers behind it for me, like making the food, being a people person, because a lot of it has to do with being able to communicate with your guests. Um, that is all just easy peasy. Uh, but the knowing how to make, here's the other thing too, is like, yeah, you could be making money on your product, right?
Mm-hmm.
But are you leaving money on the table? Like,
Yeah.
are you charging enough? And then also, you don't want to alienate your guests and just charge them too much just because you're like, well, if I charge this much, I know that I'll make the money back. But you could be overcharging them too, which you're still making money, but at the same time, you want to have integrity with your business, because it's not about getting somebody to come to you, it's about getting them to continue coming back. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really like my next challenge is the numbers.
The numbers. And it's something that can be done, you know. Anything is possible. We just have to go out and do the work. And so I say that because there's a me and Dee both we met at the Business Accelerator program for E for All, and it's a free program here in Beaufort.
That's,
Yep.
that's where y'all met.
Huh?
That's where y'all met.
Yeah, that's where we met at the E4L program here in Beaufort. And I actually knew her husband when we were children. Like he was my brother's friend. And so, we knew each other back then. But it's funny that this is just a small place, you know. And I didn't even know that he was married to her. And I was like, oh my goodness, like you're married to, so it was just like a whole, like, I was like, oh my goodness,
Circle.
like it's
That's
cool.
so cool.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, met there and I just that was on my mind when you were talking about the business side because they teach you about the business aspect of your baby, like your business is your baby. And so they teach you how to cultivate your baby, they teach you how to expand your baby, and they teach you everything that you want to know. They will teach you. You just have to ask those questions, like whenever that question come in your mind and it's like right there, like ask it. They partner you with mentors in the community. So it's not like, you're, going through the program alone. And then they're always there to help you. They will find the answers for you. They will, send you to certain people. And right now I still have a mentor. My mentor from the Business Accelerator program, we still communicate with each other. Which is crazy because, like, for months I hadn't been communicating with him because I was like, I put my business on the back burner. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. not realizing that this podcast is literally a part of my business. Like it's just a different entity of it that's going to bring what I actually want to do like out. So I just was like, oh my God, like I actually was like, working in my business. It's just a different, I'm doing it a different way.
Different
And
aspect.
so I say that because there are people in the community who will love to talk to you about prices and people who have these small businesses or, like if you go to one door and they close it, go to another door. Ask those questions. Like your brain is like, listen, dude, like we're trying to solve a problem and you're stopping me from solving this problem. So let's go solve this problem so you can
Easier to
get,
just give up.
yeah, don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Because it's still going to be there because you're still going to want to do it. Like I feel like this is your passion. So like, yeah, go for it. And people love you. I see the videos and, like, I hear what you're saying. I can hear the laughter. I can hear, the conversations that are had, and in the midst of those conversations, you maybe can ask them, like, how do you price your business? Like, they might not be a sushi business, but they might I'm pretty sure they're making money. They know
Mhm.
how to price their goods or the things that they sell. And they can help you or send you in a direction that you need to go. But it's all about asking those questions and not being afraid to ask those questions. I'm talking to myself too because sometimes we can think that, oh no, I'm just gonna do it by myself, and but no, it takes a community. Like if and I think what for me, when I used to ask those questions, like I would get turned around, and so it kind of like made me fearful to ask like any more questions to people because I'm like, no, they might not want to be bothered, or and it's like, no, 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 like ask the questions. If they don't want to be bothered, go to somebody else. You need that question answered so you can move on and then do bigger and better things. Like I see it. Like you want to do bigger things and it's there. We just have to knock on the door. Hey, it's me again. I'm here. I know I'm a bug, but hey, I'm trying to get things going. I'm trying to get things going. So,
Yeah, I'm a bug, but I'm trying to turn into a butterfly.
right, like I know, I'm a butterfly right now. I'm trying to turn into one. Come on, help me out. Help a sis out. Help a brother out. Um, so I wanted to ask you about the poetry thing because you do poetry as well, right? Is that like just a hobby or is that something that you like see yourself doing? Because I was like, I didn't know that he did poetry, y'all. He do poetry, y'all. Like you were funny. I was like, this man is funny on Facebook. I was like, this is so funny. You're really good at it too.
Um, so I have wanted to get into. So a couple years ago, I was kind of presented the question of what would you do for a career if you couldn't do what you are current, like if you couldn't be a chef anymore, if you couldn't be a sushi chef. And I was just like, man, I don't know. I've invested so much time and I've been so tunnel vision on that. I was like, well, you know what would be what is appealing to me is being a writer and bringing stories to life.
Yeah.
And my grandfather, um, it was he directed plays. He would do this one man show. He was also a writer. Like I have all his writings. He passed away earlier this year, but he one of like the last things that he said to me was like, "You need to start writing." And you know
Mhm.
what's funny is like even if I would do something stupid in my life and get in trouble, he wouldn't ever like look down on me for that. He'd be like, "Well, it's another thing you can write about." Um,
Yeah.
so I've always wanted to get into writing, and then I met somebody who is a journalist and a writer, and I just asked him, I'm like, "How do I get into writing? Is it just as simple as just writing?" And he was like, "Yeah, treat it like a muscle, flex the muscle."
Hmm.
So, with the words from my grandfather, the words from this gentleman, I just started. I literally just started writing down on a page, and then I started like writing these little goofy poems, and like I've got a poem about like we all have a pair of jeans or a shirt, right?
I've seen, I heard that one.
Yeah, where it's like you got come on, man, you should let go of those jeans or you should let go of that shirt. But it's just like it's like a comfort and there's so many memories tied to it and all that. And it's just like a poem about getting rid of an old shirt or getting rid
Yeah.
of an old pair of jeans, but you can't. You're so attached to it. But so I just
But that has a deeper meaning behind it too. Like it has a deeper meaning. Like get rid of those old thoughts and get rid of those old things out of your life, you know. You don't
yeah,
need it anymore. Go buy a new pair of jeans. Like get a new mindset.
that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Stand on those. But so I started doing that, and then I ended up the writer gentleman. He told me about this at the Pat Conroy Literary Center, this open mic that they do every other month. So I went there. I read a couple of my poems, and it's funny because I've had people reach out to me on Facebook, and they're like, it's so cool that you are sharing your poetry. It's brave. I
Hmm.
have poems that I'm like I don't want to share them. And one of my best friends, she's like, who actually so I met Dee through this person. Her name's Meg, and she was like, she was like, you've been writing poetry for like a couple of months, and it like annoys her, I guess. Like, and now I'm not saying I'm good. She's saying that I'm good. It annoys her that like I've gotten good at it, quote unquote, good at it, and that it's easy for me to share. But here's the thing: for me, it's easy to be silly and share. I actually have some poems that I've written that I haven't shared yet, and
Hmm.
that's because there are a little more of like a deeper subject. So
Hmm.
I want to share those as well, but so it's easy for me to be goofy and silly and whatever. But so there's parts where it's they are a little bit more personal, so you're a little bit more hesitant to do it. But I can't sit here and uh, you know be silly all the time and not share the deeper parts. I've got to I got to share it all. So
Yeah, yeah, but I feel like it's gonna come out. You know, like I don't know. I was like thinking about you writing a book or something, like a poetry
thank you.
like book. Started off funny, then in the middle you're like serious. You know, because I mean that's how people get to know you. I mean that you can make income off of. Well, you can make money off of that too. Like your face on the front of it with that mustache, like people would definitely grab the book. Like what is this? This guy's this different, with your sushi. Hey. So that would be hilarious. Like, have you ever did any poetry while you were like showing people how to like create sushi or like would that be something that you would like maybe like do like a story each time you go somewhere, you know? And then I don't know, I see you doing that. Like that seems kind of cool. Like you telling a story as you're like or telling a poetry thing as you're like making the sushi, and they're like, "Wait, did he just make sushi in front of us and told us a story at the same time?"
Oh, that's kind of what I. So what drew me to sushi um, is the fact that you are out front in front of people. It's like dinner and a show. So for me, like I grew up skateboarding, and it was my world. And I worked at a skate shop. I did skate lessons. I also worked at restaurants too, and I did them both. But for a little while, like I kind of like made money skateboarding in a sense. And when I got like older and injured and all that,
Yeah.
I was very depressed in life. I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. I worked in the restaurant industry, but I was just like, you know, I was kind of just like, well, I'm just doing this because it's a job. And I was told when I was younger that you are going to have to do something that you don't like to make money for the rest of your life. And I was like,
Wow.
that sounds terrible. I do not
That's
want,
horrible.
yeah, I do not want to spend my life doing something just to make a paycheck. Like you're just paying to participate at that point.
Yeah.
So I worked very hard to find, like, I wanted to find something that I loved doing for a living. And when I started doing sushi part time, it almost, in a sense, like replaced everything that I got out of skateboarding. Your creativity, your being able to learn. but then also to teach. And then the performance aspect of it. I'm in front of people at all times. You're being watched, whether you realize it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I am, when I'm in front of people, sometimes I'll go to do a private dinner at somebody's house, and people will take out like little notepads, and they're like asking all these questions, and they're like, I'm so sorry. Is this okay? And I'm like, dude, trust me, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
um, I I tell people when I'm doing these dinners, I will go there and make everything and be quiet if you'd like, or I will be as interactive as you want. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll do whatever. I like the interactive part more. Like part of what I do is fun for me because I do get to interact with people.
Yeah, yeah, I like the interaction too, like, be able to tell people why I'm so passionate about what I do and,
Mhm.
like teach them about what I'm doing, I love teaching. I didn't realize that I actually like teaching. Like I remember when I took a test in high school
Mhm.
and I was trying to fail it so that way I can go with what I thought I wanted to do. And it said, "You're going to be a teacher." I'm like, "Dang, I didn't want to be a
Oh
teacher."
wow.
It still told me I was going to be a teacher. But that didn't mean I was going to be like in a classroom or like
Mhm.
at a school. Like you can teach people anywhere. Like
Mhm.
what you're doing, you're teaching people about your craft, your sushi and all the great elements to it that people don't know about. Um, and the same thing with me, like what I do social media content creation. Like there are people that don't know how to do those things, but I find joy in it. And so when I'm teaching them, it's joyful because I find joy in it when I do it. So when I'm teaching someone, it's also creating more joy.
Yep.
Especially when they get it, you're like, wow, this is amazing. But when they don't get it, you're like, okay, maybe you're not, this is just not for you. Maybe you need to hire somebody to do this for you. Um, So yeah, so
Which there are people in place for that.
yes, yes. I feel like everybody has their own purpose. Everybody has their own calling. Everybody has their own thing that they're doing. Even if it's the same thing that someone else is doing, you're still different. You still have your own different personality. You
Yeah.
still have your own character. You still have your own mindset. You do things different than how they do things. You interact differently and they're getting money, you're getting money, so like everybody's different and doing different things to help each other out. I feel like that's what community is about. Like, let's say like if I was hosting like an event and I'm like, hey Justin, I need you to come and like interact with these people and do sushi.
I would
Like,
do it in a
you know what I'm
heartbeat.
saying? Like, yeah, like a fun event, and then there might be an event where I'm like, hey Justin, yes, I need you for this event. It's gonna be a little fancier than, before, so come out for me.
I'll show up with D.
Yeah, with D, yeah, D and Ronald, like that, I see that happening. Like it's gonna be amazing. In the future, I see that happening because
I
I
would
am,
love to.
yeah, like like have different people at
Chef
this.
collective, collaborative.
Yes,
Love
yes.
to.
Kind of like what I'm doing right now with like the podcast, bringing people on so people can see what you all do and hear more of like, the background and people who don't even know you or don't even know about sushi like that or the business behind it or they don't know like so like people who are connected to me, people who are connected to you, people who are connected to the people who are connected to me, like so these different people can get inspired and encouragement off of what they want to do, so we're all just lighting each other's candles at this point, each other's fire. So like have you like you talked about going to like customers and making those memories. So like have you ever had any funny or memorable moments with customers that stand out to you? Like can you think of one?
Hmm. Man, just over the years, let's see. There's so many different things. What's funny is this is the first one that pops up. There, is, there is this guy. He's just like, larger than life. We talk a lot. He talks more. Uh,
Oh my
And like,
God.
so he goes to the restaurant that I used to work at, that I still do private dinners through. This guy's name's Brent, right? And he is just the friendliest guy. If you sit down next to him, he is gonna spark up a conversation with you. And I remember one time, and I've known this guy for on and off for closer to a decade. And I'm doing a private dinner at somebody's house, and there's all these people, and they're having a great time. And I've got the fish out on the counter, and they have one of those greyhounds, like one of those really tall dogs.
Yeah.
And the dog is just licking the salmon because it's like eye level with the counter, right? And so
Oh.
I like I have like a guest from across the room go, oh, oh, and I look over and the dog's just like I said, his head is over the counter, so it's not like he's like climbing on the counter and just licking the fish. And I was like, oh my god! So I get the dog away, and then I cut that piece off that the dog was licking, and the guy was like, oh, just hand me that, and he ate
Uh,
that piece.
ew. Ew. Oh my goodness. That's like a dog licking your inside of your mouth. Like,
Yeah, no, I
ew.
don't get down with that.
I know, me either. Like, oh my Lord. Ah,
Yeah. So
that is
that's like
disgusting.
that's the funny that's what came to mind immediately. Or sometimes so I used to work downtown at the restaurant down there, Saltus, and you have people come in and their significant other or their friend or whatever, they love sushi or they love oysters, and the person with them is like, I don't eat. And I'm like, well, how about if I give you like a piece of something? Would you try it? And it's free. Because here's the thing: is like if you've got people that have never had something before, they're not going to want to pay an expensive price to try something that they don't know if they're
Mhm.
going to like or not.
Right.
And sushi and oysters, like that's an expensive endeavor. So I'd be like, how about if I give you an oyster for free, will you try it? Or how about if I do a little piece of sushi for you, will you try it? And they're like, yeah. So I'll fix it up for them. I'll tell them about what I'm preparing for them and everything. And I get them going. And then I hand them the piece. And as soon as they put it back, I go, oh, yeah, but I don't eat that stuff. And their face just like turns like a ghost, like, oh my God, he just fed me this raw thing and he doesn't even eat it. And
Oh my God.
of course, I'm just like, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's
Um,
funny.
But what's funny is you find that like I've cut off little pieces of sushi for people before and made them something, and next thing you know they're like, oh, I'm buying a roll. You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
little piece became an investment, or like if they eat one oyster and then they buy 2 dozen, that one little piece. And
Wow.
the owner of the restaurant, the sister who helps run things too, like she totally was like, do what you do because she knew that it was for the benefit. So that's another little funny thing I would do, I guess.
That is funny. Oh my goodness. But I like when you say like that one little piece, sets off like them getting more, like a lot of pieces. That goes to show how good it actually is. So now I'm like my mouth over here watering, like I want some sushi. I want
I'll
to try it
just
now.
drop it.
Ah. So like do your kids like ever or do your son ever help you or influence your menu ideas? Like do he like, Dad, you should try this or like do you get ideas from like just your son?
No, because he doesn't eat sushi. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no, he don't eat sushi? He's not as interested like you?
So my I would shuck oysters at the farmers market over in Port Royal, and my aunt would watch my son for me, and she'd bring him by. He There was one time where he almost went to go eat an oyster, and I was surprised. And I think like just like that brine from the oyster hit his lip, and he was like, "No." Although he does like pickles and stuff like that, so I feel like it's somewhat kind of similar. But
Yeah.
he will not eat sushi. He does like fried shrimp. It's funny because he eat like how some kids like they won't eat like mustard and pickles and they're very just their cheeseburger is just plain ketchup and that's it. He wants the pickles, he wants the mustard, he likes these different flavors, but also he's very it's like he's the weirdest kind of picky there is. Like
Picky
I,
eater.
yeah, like I feel like I was probably pickier than him when I was a kid, but he has come before and like we'll put on gloves and he'll help me cure the fish and he finds it interesting what I do and even the shucking the oysters and all that like he'll share with people what I do, but he doesn't eat it quite yet. And it's funny because I was like, I said to him, so my son is super into football right now, and
Mm,
if my kid wasn't good at football, I'd be like, he's not good, but he has fun, you know. But he's actually really good. His stepdad and him have like worked on plays. They just went 10-0. He's the quarterback. If you watch
wow.
videos, like he is engaged. He's out there. Even like people that I grew up with, like they're like, "Man, your kid is good." And then I saw a friend of mine's dad who used to coach football. He's like, "Hey, your kid is good, man." But so I said to my son, I was like, would you eat sushi with me? And he was like, no. And I was like, all right, his favorite player right now, he'd probably say Deion Sanders, prime time, right? I was like,
What?
yeah, he's like, I was like, what if Deion Sanders was like, Louis, I'm gonna take you out to dinner, but we're gonna eat sushi. Would you eat it? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, so you
What?
would eat sushi with Deion Sanders, but not with me?
Not with your dad, not with your pops here. Like what? Kids be disappointing, boy. I swear they disappoint sometimes. You're like, are you my child? Like what? How can
You
you
know
go
what?
against your parent?
If Deion Sanders took my son out to dinner and get him to eat sushi, I wouldn't even be mad.
I wouldn't be mad either. I'm like, so when we gonna sign this contract deal? Like,
There we go.
like what we doing after this? Cause I know you just got me some sushi, so what we about to do? What plans we got going on? Yeah, come
Yeah,
on,
now you're gonna be my son's mentor in life. No.
right. Like let's go ahead and sign that on a dotted line. That's so funny. So, like, what do your days off look like, or is that even such a thing? 'Cause I know you said that you barely get any time. So I appreciate you for coming on because you barely get any time to like do anything. But what does that look like, or what do you hope it looks like when you actually get that time?
So it's funny because I used to put work before everything in life. I've done a lot of changes to how I live my life over the past like little over 2 years, and work was like the biggest priority in my life, and or at least like one of them. And so over this past like year, I've really done a lot of work into um, trying to spend time outside of work. And I moved back to Beaufort in May from Charleston, and I it's expensive out here to live, man. It's crazy because people talk about how it's expensive to live in Charleston. I think it's just as expensive, if not more expensive, to live in Beaufort. Reason being, rent's the same. Rent is the same in Beaufort as it is in Charleston, but you can make more money doing what I do in Charleston than you can here in Beaufort.
Mm.
So it ends up kind of canceling out. And like I said, if not, maybe being even more expensive to live here. So I moved back to Beaufort. I worked at the kitchen on Ladies Island, and then I ended up doing a sushi dinner for a family over in Bluffton, and the owners of the restaurant farm that I used to work at were there. And I hadn't seen the owner in like 2 years, over 2 years, and she has like the one of the owners of farm, she has been so supportive of me and so patient with me over the years. Like I am a diva when it comes to working. I am such a diva, and she has stuck by me and never given up on me. And so she made a joke about throwing me on the floor, and next thing you know, I'm serving tables again, which I'm so happy to be there. A lot of being in the restaurant industry is a very like sometimes can be a very sketchy place to be. You know, it's not all restaurants are run in a with everybody's best interests in mind. And this place, I can genuinely say, is. So I started working there again, and uh, all of a sudden, and then at the kitchen, we opened up the cafe side. So next thing you know, I'm working like 7 days a week. There was like probably a 2 month stretch where I was at the kitchen every day in some capacity. And now my life has kind of like settled down a little bit, and I'm starting to find days off, and then I get those days off, and I don't even know what to do with myself. Like this week, I'm back on 7 days, and also like a lot of what I do too. People will throw gigs at me like out of nowhere. So I'll take a gig on like a week's notice if I can. I have a hard time saying no. If I can make it work, I'm going to make it work. So when I'm not working, it's trying to be with my son. And if he's, got plans or something, then it's trying to like hit the skate park and skate. I've been terrible about going to the gym. I was hitting the gym like every day or a few times a week for a couple months, and then I kind of I got back into that work mode, and then I stopped hitting the gym. So I try and be active in some capacity when I'm not working. And then lately, it's been about trying to write when I have time. Uh,
Mhm.
so I'm very, I guess, I don't know, I'm boring because I'm like, oh, just I see. I'm trying to figure out what to do with life besides work because I'm like, oh, it's just like, well, Justin, you're working all the time. Like, what else do you do? And I'm like, oh, well, I like today. I don't look at going and shucking 200 oysters like work because it's like it's literally going to be like an like it'll be a couple hours endeavor because I'm driving to Charleston, but I'm gonna show up at somebody's house, shuck a couple hundred oysters, make a couple $100, and then I'm out. And
Mhm.
so it's hard to look at that like work for me, but to some people that is work, and it is work. But other than that, like I try and I try and interact with my friends and just not isolate. I feel like we get to a point to where like when we're not working, we're just isolating, just kind of like I'm very guilty of being stuck on my phone sometimes. And whether next thing you know, I take a work text and then I scroll because I'm waiting on that text back, and then I'm scrolling, and then I find like 45 minutes has gone by and I'm on my phone. So I try not to do that, but I'm totally guilty of it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
there goes one of those really long answers for a simple question.
No, it was good. I was listening, it's like I was listening to you and I was taking in notes, mental notes. 'Cause sometimes I can be quick to like jump to the next question. But when you were talking about like, that time, like I feel like I was like that too, just working, working, working and, never really took the time to plan like what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Never took the time to just sit down and sit with myself
Mm-hmm.
for at least an hour. Just sit with myself and write. Write. I started journaling. Um, and for me, I pray, I read the word of God, and I sometimes just have to sit, and think about, okay, what are we doing? What's the end goal here? Because you're not just working just to work. Like, excuse me, what's the end goal? You're using this job to fund your actual goal, which is to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like talking, kind of talking about you, but then also talking about me too. Um, to be an entrepreneur and to live a life that's good, because let's say if you worked like this all your life, like what those people were saying back then, you have to work somewhere that you don't want to work just to get what you get for the rest of your life. Like that was said to me too, like go get a job and yeah, get a job, but also have goals to like own your own. Like those people who created those jobs, I'm sure didn't just start like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably worked at a mom and pop shop. They probably had to work in the farms or fields, but then they got a spark in their mind like, okay, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I don't want to work for somebody for the rest of my life. So where does it come where I take that time out of my day to plan? And so for me, like time is just gonna keep going, like whether we like it or not, and we're gonna be dead and gone, and time is just gonna keep going. So
We're not gonna get that time back, you know.
no, no. So for me, like literally, like God was just telling me, rest in me. Like rest in my promises. I got you. I got you covered. So rest in me. So, I'm working part-time. I work 4 days a week and I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. How bills are paid, that's just how they're paid. How am I able to do these things? Because God has allowed me to work a job that, pays okay and pays good. And I'm also able to I plan, I plan and how I'm able to do the podcast because I'm able to do it. Like I plan for it, I plan months ahead. Like with this episode, we're recording a week before, but usually I record a couple weeks before, but I we just like found out about each other
Like a month
not
ago.
yeah, not too
Sure.
long ago and I had to squeeze you in because I'm recording with other people, but when people hear this podcast, it's going to be recorded already 2 weeks before it comes out, and that was my thing. Like, sit down, pray, plan, and execute. I went to an event called that. It was called Pray, Plan, and Execute because sometimes we can pray about a thing. God give us the vision, He give us the plan, we plan it, and then we don't execute it.
Hmm.
We don't go for it. Like what you were saying about your actual business, like what you want to do. It's not about what other people want to do, it's about what you want to do, and you have to take that step, I'm telling you. Because ain't nobody gonna take it for you. Nobody's gonna take it for you. The people gonna be in the back telling you this, telling you that, but ultimately you can go to the classes, you can ask the questions, you can go to the free programs, you can continue doing what you're doing, but if you don't take that like step into the water and get your toes wet, it will never happen. It would just be a dream that was just that. It was just a dream. It will
Yeah.
never be nothing more. And for me, I was like, Lord, I'm so good at so many things and I'm like, I don't know what to do. He's like, sit down. I know you got social media. I know you got art. I know you got kids. I know you got work. I know you do the podcast. I know that you have all these things going on. You have a home that you gotta take care of. I know you have all these things going on. But at some point you're gonna have to look at what you do every single day, write it down hour by hour, what you do, and figure out how much time you're spending in that particular area that really you don't need to spend in that area, but you spend it in that area because you feel like you don't have nothing to do. Take that time that you're spending in that particular area and plan. And then as you're planning, keep looking at those goals every week. Keep looking at, okay, am I accomplishing this goal? Like what can I do to accomplish that goal? Like, am I actually doing these things that I said that I was gonna do? Am I a man of my word? Am I a woman of my word? Am I actually doing this stuff? Or am I just writing it down and that's it?
Did you
So
actually put in the effort? Sometimes I feel like, we think we as a society, as people, we think like we want to do something and we get the wheels in motion for it and never actually, like, as you're talking about, like execute the plan. And then we're
yes.
like, it just didn't work out. And it's like, did it not work out? Or did you like not actually? Because here, listen, lately I've been thinking to myself, there are some things that I wanted to do in life, right? Did I actually put forth the effort that it would take to continue? And
Yeah.
as I got honest with myself, especially over these last like 2.5 years, like the answer is no, I didn't. And I just want to make sure that I never, moving forward, that if I want to do something, that I never, uh, you know, like half measures avail as nothing. So
Mhm. And for me, I look at the end goal like whenever I say, "Oh, I'm gonna do it," or I don't feel like doing it. Sometimes you just don't feel like it, but it's not about how you feel. You just gotta do it, because you're looking at the end goal. Like for me, um, I have a business called Crown and Authentic, and at this point, it's more like a hobby than a business because I'm not actually executing it like I'm supposed to be.
Mhm.
And so right now, I'm taking the smaller steps as to creating those messages and quotes that I need to create to put on the apparel and the accessories. I'm doing the background of it, the meaty stuff, like getting the business stuff actually going, the website and all that stuff. And I look at that and I'm like, when am I actually gonna do? What am I actually, but I'm actually taking the small steps. The small beginnings are important. And then from there, then moving forward with adding the things on the website and then putting out the website, and then going to events and doing all these things in the midst of all this. But I look at the end goal like, why am I doing this? You look at the why. Why do I want to have a sushi business? Why do I want to have a apparel company? Why is there a desire for this? And for me, it's because of what I've been through. And what I've been through was things that I don't want. I don't want other people to go through, and it's not that I don't want it.
Mhm.
But I mean, inevitably, people are going to go through this, but I want to be that person that they see, like,
There's
wow, like,
something on the other side.
yes, like if she can
Yeah.
do it, then I can do it. And
I
if
tell
I
my
can,
son all the time, I make the mistakes that you don't have to. I'm sorry, I didn't
yeah.
mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, no, you're fine. You're
Yeah.
fine. You're fine. My parents used to say that, we made mistakes, so you don't have to. But ultimately, he's gonna make mistakes, and he's gonna learn from them, hopefully. But we all gonna make mistakes because we're not perfect.
Mhm.
We live in an imperfect world. So we're all gonna make mistakes, and it's okay. For me, when I was growing up, I was taught that mistakes weren't okay, and so I was
Yeah.
trying to be perfect.
And then you're
And
hard on
then,
yourself.
excuse me, yeah. And so ultimately, I kept making mistakes because I mean, we're just going to make mistakes, but I was not learning, truly learning from them like I should have. And because I was just being so hard on myself,
Mhm.
I was being hard on myself
We
and,
like punish ourselves, you know?
huh?
We like punish ourselves, you know?
Yes, and beat ourselves up to the core,
Mhm.
and for me, it was my faith. I relied on my faith in God. And because he's not gonna beat you up, especially after, you ask for forgiveness and you're forgiven. He said he throw it into the sea of forgiveness. He doesn't remember what you did in the past. And so why should you continue to remember that mistake and not it's not that you should not forget it, but
Yeah.
it's that don't carry the pain that came with it.
Correct it.
Stop carrying that pain that you're not worthy. Stop carrying the pain that that you will never be able to amount to anything. Stop carrying that pain where you feel like, oh, because mom and daddy said so, or because brother sister said this, or cousin said that, or auntie said that, that you're not gonna be able to do what it is that you dreamed of doing. Because people gonna talk about you, whether you're doing good or whether you're doing bad. They gonna talk about you anyway. So do good anyway. Be
Mhm.
be good anyway. Do what it is that you set out to do, because only you will be able to do it. Mama and them, they could have did it. They a cousin them, they could have did it. Everybody has a free will. You could either do it or don't do it. It's up to you. But that's how I see it. I'm like, at some point I had to stop complaining. I had to stop beating myself up. I had to stop so being stuck on the pain of the past so much, to the point where God literally blessing me, but I can't enjoy it because I'm stuck on, but I'm not worthy of this, but I'm not good enough to do this. Like this podcast, I'm like, I'm not good enough to, like, I give you a voice. I gave you a voice. Remember when you didn't have a voice? I gave you a voice.
An inquisitive voice.
Come on. So why do you think, where's your faith? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your faith? Oh, ye of little faith, where's your faith? Do what it is that you see. You see the vision. Write the vision, Make it plain so they can run and tell it on tablets. They can run with tablets. Write the vision and make it plain. They can run and tell it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then do it. And then
Yeah.
do it. I mean, that's the last part, like do it. Like no matter is if you mess up, okay, pivot.
Yeah.
Like we
Take the
learn from our
action.
mistakes. I'm pretty sure you messed up a lot with sushi and cutting it and all type of stuff.
Mhm.
Like you learn from your mistake, but you don't even think about the mistakes anymore. You don't even think about that. You don't even think about how hard it was before, like cuz a challenge I used to say I love challenges, but actually I don't like challenges. We don't, as human beings, we do not like to be challenged, like,
Hmm.
but it's through the pain that we go through is how we get to our purpose. The pain that we go through is how we are resilient, and we find that we are perseverers and overcomers. And when we actually get through that hump in our life, we're like, oh, wow, I'm never going back there again. I overcame that. Now I can tell people how I overcame that who are actually going through that so they can overcome it, you know? And I'm sorry. Look at me like I'm going on a ride right now. So
I'm
but
glad to be doing it with. I'm glad. I'm grateful for this ride with you.
yeah, I talk to myself like this, and people are like, I know some people are like, oh, she talked to herself, she's crazy. No, you have to talk to yourself. You have to. I remember someone was saying, a coach, Takara Nicole, she was saying that sometimes you have to look at yourself in the mirror and talk to yourself. You have to talk to yourself. You have to, like, you have to be real with you, you know?
Mhm.
And I told her, I said, I remember I was looking in the mirror the other day because I've been working out for like 10 weeks, being consistent. That's something that you were talking about too, like not being consistent with working out. And let me back up some. So I went to a nutritionist for free. I'm like, Lord, I don't know how you doing it, but okay. So I went to a nutritionist. Oh my goodness, you can hear sorry y'all, you hear the lawnmower in the background. Um, and I was having pains in my body and I was feeling like heavy breathing. And I'm like, this is not me. Like, I was feeling a lot of congestion and just like feeling bad, bent over and like just, I was bigger. I was just feeling bad. And I knew what it was because, like, you know what it is. Like, when you're aware of yourself, you know what it is that you need to do, but you don't do it. So I had to go to someone to tell me what it is that I already knew that I needed to do. And she was like, you need to come up with a plan. She said, you need to come up with a plan. And I'm basically talking to her about things that things that I went to. Like, I think, yeah, I was talking about the I Pray, I Plan, I Execute event. I went to that before I went to the nutritionist. And I was like, well, someone said to like write out, what you do every day. And then from there, find the time to like, schedule and plan. And she was like, seems like you know what you're doing. And so we came up with a plan together, cooking things ahead of time and, working out for 30 minutes before getting my kids up, and I told her, because I can't go to the gym, I can't go outside, but what can I do? Someone said that. They said, don't focus on what can't you do, but what can you do? What can you do to better yourself? And so I was like, well, I can work out from 5 to 5:30 because I don't got to get the kids up to like 5:45, 6 o'clock, so I can do that. And she said, good. Now do 2 days of strength and 3 days of cardio. I said, okay, perfect. So I started doing 3 days of strength and 2 days of cardio, which it really doesn't matter, but as long as you get it in. So, and then I found the time. I do 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I skip Thursday through Friday, Saturday is my cardio. And I found that that worked for me. And when you actually find something that works for you, it's like a breeze. You're like, oh, this actually works. But it was challenging in the beginning. It was so challenging to be consistent, especially when I got sick. Like last week, I was sick with COVID and I couldn't work out for those 4 days. I worked out that Monday and then found out I would didn't find out I was sick until that Thursday when I really was just feeling really bad. And I didn't work out that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but Saturday I decided to get up and get out and walk, to breathe, to get some fresh air. And Sunday I didn't go to church because I didn't want to like expose anybody. And then when Monday came, I already knew in my mind that I wouldn't feel like doing it. I wouldn't
Yeah.
feel like getting up because I remember, and this is like a mountain that I kept going around. I remember when I used to work out before, and then I would get sick for whatever reason. I would get sick, and it would be like a week or two. Like I was sick, wouldn't work out, wouldn't nothing, and then all of a sudden, I'm not working out anymore at all. And so
Hmm.
that's what happened before I seen the nutritionist. I got sick in January. I was working out before January. I got sick in January. And then after I got sick, I didn't work out anymore. So now here comes June, July. I'm like 200 something pounds. 5'1" lady. You know what I'm saying? Like I was chunky. I wasn't like over beast, but I was like, I was chunky, you know? Like for me, I would feel insecure. I'm like, this is not, no, I don't want to be like this, you know? And so, it was going to happen again until I remembered, no, I made the decision to get up and work out for 20 minutes. I was doing crunches. I was doing like leg stuff and lifting weights, even though my body was like still feeling kind of weak, but my mind was ready. I was like, okay, we got to train our body because really it's in your mind, not your body. Your body just go whatever your mind goes with, you know? So it really it's up here that we have to work on, you know?
That's the
And
battle up here.
yes, the battle is always here. And so, um, oh my goodness, they're like right there. And so because that battle was up here, I'm like right here. I'm like, okay, let's do something. So that took off. And so I worked out Monday, I worked out Tuesday, I worked out Wednesday. Thursday I took a break yesterday. Oh no, not yesterday. Thursday. And like it just now I'm back into the motion of it and I'm not even sick anymore, you know? So that was what I overcame. The barrier that I overcame was even though you get sick or you don't feel like it, still do it, you know? When you get
Hmm.
better, still do it. Still do it. What's going on outside?
I can't hear it.
Yeah, you can't hear it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that means this mic is good. Ain't no way. They're literally like right there. This mic is good. I didn't know this mic was like $42. I think $10 off on Amazon. It's on my Amazon store, y'all, if you want to go check
Gotta
it out.
shop for the deals.
Right, shop for the deals.
I
Um,
think sometimes we worry so much about the result. So when I started working out earlier this year, I was like a weekend and I'm like, nothing's even happening. And I'm just like, bro, shut up.
yeah.
And I kept doing it. And then, within like a month of that, I had people coming up to me, like my friends, and, like, are you working out? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And,
Yeah.
you don't, self can't see self. You know what I mean? So, like, you don't even realize it. So it's like, just don't worry about the result. Just take the action, go through the process, and the results are going to happen if you continue to put in the work. And then also, like, once again, like, I think you pointed it out, like one of my, don't worry about your motivation's fleeting, man. Like, your motivation's going to be there one morning and you're going to be like, yes, absolutely. Well, what about that morning when you wake up and you're like, I don't want to do this? That's when you rely on your discipline.
Yes, yes. You said that was powerful. That's powerful. That's when you rely on your discipline. And that's where that mindset comes in. Like, because you're thinking about it. You're like, okay, no, because if I don't do it, then I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
go back into that same habit. And it's about habits, like breaking those bad habits, and creating new good habits. Like what you were saying, you can use that same process with your business. When you were saying about, the working out part, it's a process. It's not everything's gonna come so easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a process. It's gonna be challenging in the beginning because we're breaking a bad habit. and creating new good habits. So yeah, our body is not gonna want to do it. Our mind is not, sometimes is not ready, but we have to break that thought process in our mind, by reading books, and if you're a man of faith, like going to God, and talking to people, having conversations, asking those questions. And so I love when you said that it is a process, because it is. Everything that we're given is going to take a process. Like my business, it's going to be a process.
Hmm.
I can see that end goal, and it's beautiful. But I'm like, but I'm here, Lord. Like, I don't, I, what do I have? He like, you have the resources already inside of you to do what you need to do, but you need to focus on the small things first. Focus on what you can do right now that will build to the bigger thing, that will build to it. Don't give up. Don't give up on it yet. Don't give up on it at all. And then a lot of times that's what happened to me. I would have a vision, I would work it, but then I would give up on it because it's not planning out like how I think it should plan out.
Hmm.
We may think that, oh, it should be like this, but then it may not. So what do you do on those hard days? That's my next question. What motivates you to keep pushing forward, with I'm going to say your business, because you do have an inspiration to start your own business, and you're actually already kind of working in it by going to clients' homes and things like that. So what push you to go forward in those things on hard days, on your hard days?
A friend of mine recently said to me, if you got everything all at once, would you even be grateful for it? Or would you be appreciative of it? So, as we work for things and we acquire these things in life that we want, um, we, if you have to work for them or kind of like struggle to get to those points, you definitely are a lot more grateful. Um, it's easier to put in the work to hold on to those things. And my motivation is, man, I have a, this might sound cliche, but I have a new like lease on life, a new lens on life, a new clarity. Um, I am my gratitude for where I am in life and where I used to be is motivation. Um, at the like you can you can use these other things in life like your family, your children, as your motivation. You can use these monetary goals. If you looked at my goals list now as opposed to like 2.5 years ago, you'd be like, these are two different people. My motivation in life now uh, is my growth in being a human and like service. Like, where can I be of service to people? I feel like God works. We are vessels, right? Um, Works through people. So I credit my sister for saving my life, right? And she's like, no, that's God. And I'm like, well, my understanding of God and a higher power, my higher power would let me put any credit where I would like to. And so I will give, of course, I give God the credit, but at the same time, like, my sister, my family, like these people that have supported me over the years, um, my son, those are like all of that motivation is great, but like you have to find it within yourself as well. Um, so my motivation is like, yes, all of those outside factors, but also like having this new lease on life and this new clarity in life and um, not living through that old dirty dusty lens. having,
Yeah,
having that new one.
it's time to get some new glasses, some new
Yeah,
lens.
I got some new glasses, man, and I am super grateful to be where I am in my life. I don't know if that answers that question, but
Yeah, it does. It
yeah.
does. And your sister, she was being humbled, because when you know, like for me, I know that it's not by my might or my power. It's not by my strength, but it's by the Holy Spirit strength that I'm able to do what I do. Because if it was up to me, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be here. I'd be doing my own thing. I'll be out singing to the world like R&B and pop, and I'll be doing my own thing. But to do this it's hard. It's hard to live right. It's not easy, but you feel fulfillment in it when you actually see the success from it. Um, I was about to ask you something and I lost. Nope, I ain't lose it. Um, oh, you was talking about lenses. Yeah, that's right. So it's funny. My apostle, he was talking about like looking at things from a different lens as well, and sometimes like every year, I go to get new prescription in my glasses
Hmm.
because sometimes you do need that reset. You need an upgrade, like I don't know that kind of brings me to like, when I was a child and now I'm not a child anymore. And as I'm an adult and now going through, life year. And I see how I got better each year, and that's like, because I've been looking at things from a different lens each year, a better lens each year, and this last year, my lens didn't change. My prescription in my glasses, sorry, didn't change.
Hmm.
And I was like, that I don't know, it like sparked something in me, just now. I'm like, so my prescription didn't change, so I must be on the right track.
Ah, yeah,
With
yeah.
life. I'm like, I must be on the right track, Lord, because that prescription didn't change. So my eyes aren't getting bad. Like, so that's good. That's good. That's good. I remember
Yeah.
the eye doctor told me that your eyes are actually getting better. I said, thank you. So they actually had to like downgrade my prescription. I was like, whoa. But I was trying to reference life with glasses, looking at it in a different lens.
No, that's great. I always say, like sometimes I don't know, some people are really averse to change. And I've been saying this for a while, and glasses is a new analogy for it, but computers update, why can't we?
Hmm.
And we rely heavily on computers in this in our the time that we're in right now. And computers update, and they have like so. And we as people, why can't we update?
Exactly. And guess who updates the computers? Us. So who updates us? God. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who keeps transforming us? We're transforming technology, but who keeps transforming us? God.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't do it. Of course, we have free will and things like that, but when I got into Christ, he put his Holy Spirit in me. So whether I wanted to go this way, he's like, no, like my spirit is telling me to go his way, you know, and his way is good. Sometimes I don't understand when people are like, spirits are bad. No, his spirit. I'm not talking about these other demons and things like that y'all enjoy, but his spirit is good. He said he'll put his holy, God is holy. So anything that what's it called? Anything that you see that is right, like right, like we know right from wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We know not to go down certain paths anymore. Like I used to drink heavily. I don't go down that path because it caused me pain. I used to smoke heavily, marijuana. I don't go down that path because it caused me pain. It caused more psychosis in my life. I was in a different world, another a fantasy, but here physically,
Mm-hmm.
and it caused me to go crazy. I don't do it anymore. I don't do it because I know, okay, that's not right. That's killing the spirit inside of me. It's killing that my
Mm-hmm.
my being, and I don't do it because it not only caused me pain, it caused my children pain. It caused my family pain. It caused everybody that was connected to me pain in a certain sense. Um, and so it's certain things that I just know not to do, and it's certain things that I'm still God is still working on, working with me on, like self control, because we can get tempted to want to do something because we think we know, oh yeah, I know now,
Mhm.
but inevitably God knows it before you're going to do it. Like he know what it is that will tempt you. He know what it is. And so sometimes he'll put us in certain situations where we do get tempted, but he's like, are you going to follow me or are you going to go back to that? He's testing our faith. Are you going to follow that road where you know that you've been down that road before and it didn't get you nowhere? You were lying on your face crying, you were panicking, you were having anxiety, you were stressing, you were all over the place. Nobody can tell if you were you or you were you, or you can tell if you were you. You had dark eyes, you had gray hair, you hadn't had no hair, you was skinny, you were messed up, you were homeless, you were out there struggling. Do you want to go back to that place? Or you got a choice. I'm gonna tip you, and either you're gonna follow the devil or you're gonna follow me. And let's do it right. It's hard because you're wanting to go here, but let's go here.
Yeah.
Follow the light. Follow the light that will make your life light. Ooh, that's going to be on a shirt. Follow the light that's going to make your life light. Oh my God. Okay. So, for our final question, because we gotta wrap it up. We've been talking for, but it's been good. It was a good conversation. It was a very good
You
conversation.
said that she was like, I'm looking forward to hearing you guys. Like we've talked on the phone a couple times. Well, like once or twice now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like it has gotten to a point where we're just I kind of forget we're even what we're we're doing this.
Yeah. Yes. That's like me normally, like when I'm talking on the phone with someone, I normally would talk. We were like, me and that person would just be talking for like hours, and I'm like, okay, girl, we gotta get about this phone because I'm not gonna do nothing during the day if we gonna continue to be on this phone.
Mhm.
But it's because when you're talking about good things and when you're talking about your testimony and you invite God in the conversation, it flows and it you get healing. Like right now, like during this conversation, I got healing and I got insight on certain things that, I pray to God about. Um I it just was flowing, like the Holy Spirit flow, like let him flow. So I just that's why, like, when I'm talking to my friends, I cannot not talk about God. That's one thing with me. So I had to cut some people off because they, you know, I had to cut them off because they were trying to argue with me about my faith, and I'm like, I'm not doing that,
Yeah,
So I'm like, what? I can't like talk about, like, oh my God, if I can't talk about you, it's like I'm putting my candle underneath a basket, like
yeah,
I want to put I want to put my candle on top of the basket so it can shine light to everyone around me,
yeah.
in their darkness. Like Lord, you are the sun. You are the brighter light, and I'm the lesser light. I'm like the moon, but it still shines. You still reflect on me, so you can reflect through me, and so your light and your joy and your holiness can shine amongst the people. And whoever is living in darkness, whoever is in the darkness part of their mind, whoever is trying to search for you, whoever need answers to their questions, let it be that the joy that I'm bringing in the conversation, or the joy that's flowing through me, who is Jesus, let it be that you shine upon their life, because it's not me but it's you shining through me to get to them, because I once was living in darkness, but you use other people to shine their light on me, and to light my candle, to put a spark on me to keep going, you know so that's what I
Love it.
mean. Like it just be a flow, So this conversation was good. It is well. All is well, and all will be well in your life. It's good. It's good. Just keep doing what it is that God is telling you to do. We can't worry about. You say, don't worry about these things around you. I know the government is like this. I know your job's like that. I know things during the day can seem hectic, but keep your eyes on me. Keep focus on me and what I have for you. Allow me to use you. Allow me to use your life as a testimony. So it can be that others will say, God did it for that man. Oh my God, you did it for that woman. I want to know you too. I desire to know you too, Lord. Like that's what it's supposed to be. Like what I do, my podcast, my Crown and Authentic business, even day to day stuff. When I'm at my job, everything that I do, I say, Lord, let you get the glory out of it. Let you be glorified because I know that it will draw all men unto you. Let everything that I do draw all men unto you because you are good. You are good. You are good. And so as I do what I do, you do what you do in their lives. You bless that person and bless this person, and they're telling me their testimony. Like I'm like, my God, God did it. That's what your sister said. God did it. Like cuz it is, and really he did it. He uses us to do it. God is strategic. So that's one thing. We limit God. We limit him, but look at all the things that we can do. Don't you know God can do greater things? Like
Yeah, I think sometimes we try and put God in like a bubble, and it's just like, do you not realize that like you
brilliant.
probably can't comprehend the entire concept of what God is? You know, it's funny. You said my sister was being humble. It's the first time in her life. No,
Ah,
I'm
that's
taking
good.
credit. It's the first time in her life.
She was, because when that's why I said when you know, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna leave it at that because when you know, and you will know when you know, it'll hit you like a brick. You be like, oh, I know what she was talking about. When you know. Yeah, when you know. And God not gonna take away your personality. Like, I'm still Keish. He not gonna take away he gonna amplify it. At that he amplifies it. He amplifies it. In this whole conversation, I ain't cursed not once. But he
Me too.
amplifies me. Um so, final question. What's your favorite sushi roll? The one you think everyone has to try at least once.
Ooh. All right. So if I'm making you a roll, the roll that I would make for you would be inside the roll. It's pickled carrots, cucumber, avocado. Uh, so it's very like somewhat like neutral, light, refreshing inside. And then on top, I'd put every other piece. It would be salmon and then tuna, salmon, tuna. Uh, and then once again, we talked about it earlier, like all the curing process and all of that. So this roll to me is very like clean and highlights the fish with the subtleties inside. So you've got the star of the show's on top, and then inside there's texture and it's somewhat neutral, but then also the pickled carrots. So I
Mm-hmm.
pickled my carrots with that rice vinegar that I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
With that, strawberries, jalapeno, and garlic. So these carrots that I do are really one of the best things I do. And then I would use like either I'd use some kind of like ginger garlic soy that I make. I've got a couple different sauces with that, and then I'd put some of the fish roe over the top, and that's like a very clean roll. Um, and it's very flavorful. It's clean. It highlights the fish. Uh, but if I was going to, when it comes to like eating a roll, when it comes to like, so for me personally, I would do nigiri, which is the fish. Sorry, the rice, and then the fish over the top. Those little pieces that you see. I like
Mm-hmm.
mackerel a lot, which I don't know if everybody likes mackerel. It's a little fishy for a fish. Some people ask like, is that fishy? And I'm like, well, this fish, but so it's a little fishier of a fish. Uh,
Yeah.
the mackerel, and then that's like one of my personal favorite bites of food. But also like I like a spider roll, soft shell crab down here in the Low Country. It's a season every year. It's a short window. Um, So having like a legit spider roll here in the low country, I feel like is pretty underrated because you can get soft shell crab like all times of the year, you know, frozen and all that. But like our soft shell crab, that little window, is something that I definitely think is something that should be highlighted more here.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely wanting to try the first one that you said because it just seemed like so many layers to it. I'm like, that sounds juicy.
Yeah,
Um, and then the spider, what was the spider roll?
yeah. So generally, like, all right. So when you go to a sushi restaurant, the like kind of like a more, I guess, like a streamlined sushi hibachi place, and you get the menu, they're all gonna have like a rainbow roll or a spider roll or like a dragon roll or all these. And generally, like it's all the same roll with like subtle changes here and there. So a spider roll is fried soft shell crab. Now, excuse me. Um, I, for the most part, the only time I've ever done spider rolls is that little window of our season here. So I think it's a lot different when you're utilizing our fresh local spider roll.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
I gotta try that too. I gotta try that. Okay, well, this was good. This was a good conversation. Um, Justin reminded us that life, y'all, life, much like sushi, is all about balance, the sweet, the salty, the raw, and the real. Every roll has a story. And today's story was wrapped in wisdom, growth, and good vibes. We just feasted on some food for the soul and the flavor, y'all. Unforgettable. Unforgettable. Justin, you served up truth with the precision of of a sushi chef and the rhythm of a poet. Raw, honest, and beautifully crafted. So as we close out this episode, remember, life's poetry is written in every moment you choose growth over comfort and discipline over doubt. Keep rolling with purpose, seasoning it with grace, and serving it with love. And before we close out, Justin, can you tell everyone where they can find you or follow you on social media?
yeah. So Justin Patton, I have a very basic name, so there's a lot of them. But Justin Patton on Facebook, also on Facebook, the Sushi Dude, and then on Instagram, Bearded Child or the Sushi Dude with two E's. It's a long story of why I had to do two E's. The person who has the Sushi Dude on Instagram doesn't even post, so I had to do the Sushi Dude with two E's on the end of dude. And then on TikTok, the Sushi Dude. So Justin Patton, Bearded Child, the Sushi Dude. That's how you can find me.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. That was crazy how the other person don't even post.
Bro, doesn't even hasn't put somebody started that account, got the handle for it, and you know, probably
Just
doesn't even
didn't.
go on there.
Just wasting people time. Listen.
Yep.
Well, it's your girl Kesh, y'all, host of the Cooler Today podcast. You already know where to find us. Find us on YouTube at the Cooler Today podcast with Keish, Spotify, Apple at the Cooler Today, and find me on the Facebook, Mykesha Wolfe, very simple, and on Instagram, Mykesha Wolfe. I have a TikTok too. Don't really be on there as much as I should, but it's your girl Keish, and. Hey, this is the Cool of the Day, y'all, where we talk about Christ in real life, walking with Him during the cool of the day. Peace, love, and poetry on your plate. All right, peace. It's the cool of the day, the cool of the day, the cool of the day.